Missed that and act like, oh, why me? Why me? It's really daft of you. Quite frankly, she doesn't want to hear your opinion because it's you, the person that she was just in a situation with.
Okay, I didn't realise that I wasn't allowed to give my opinion on the situation.
You can, but it will be sensitive coming.
One thing about Whitney is she's going to say it as is, and the fact that she said it to Jess's face that you are the one who's carrying Sammy, you're the reason why Sammy's still in the villa. Everybody knows it, so you better take note. And also, what's wrong with Abby? What is wrong with Abby? She has Scott, and yet she suddenly decided to involve herself in something that has nothing to do with her. And Ty, I don't get, am I the only one who sees how Ty is always starting a conversation and then he sits back and lets his minions do all the work for him? But anyway, I digress. Hi there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome back to my channel. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island, Season 10, Episode 45. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, a comment, and turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos. So the islanders get back to the villa. They are not aware of who's been eliminated. They're sort of debating what's happening, with the couples that are left. They're wondering why Whitney and Logan are there if they're not in the bottom three, and if Whitney and Logan are going to make a decision of who goes home. The islanders get ready for the night. They take their drinks and they're sort of sitting down talking. Ella and Ty are having a conversation, and Ella sort of lets Ty know that she hopes Uzi and Katie don't go home because she thinks they have a stronger connection of the three couples that are there. And it's like, make it make sense. You were saying Katie likes to cause trouble. You were saying Katie is the troublemaker and she's always looking for beef with someone. Why then are you advocating for Katie to still be in the villa, Ella? Are you advocating for Katie to be in the villa because you want Uzi to still be in the villa? Or is it because you see there's a connection? Katie has just let everybody know that she's still interested in Zachariah. So what makes you think that she and Uzi have a stronger connection? I think this is what sort of started Ty up. The fact that Ella was worried about her friend coming back into the villa. And that way, by the time, sadly, Whitney and Logan came back, Ty was primed and ready. Zachariah and Molly obviously are still up. Molly's upset that she's not happy about the Katie situation. Obviously, she's excited that Katie's in the bottom three and she's hoping that Katie goes home and that can get rid of her problem. And it's like, you're not going to stay in the villa forever. You're still going to leave the villa. Katie will still be there. And what happens? Are you going to marry Zachariah before you leave the villa? It doesn't make sense. Logan and Whitney arrive back with Mitch and Ella B, and everyone is shocked. They're shocked to find out what's happened. They keep asking, what's happened? How did you end up with Ella B and Mitch? What happened? Because I think all of them were looking forward to Mitch going home, because I remember Ella said, if Mitch comes back, that means he's got 9 lives. We can never get rid of him. And so they come, they sit down, and Whitney and Logan sort of explained that they had to make the decision of which couple goes and which couple stays. And they looked at it from all angles and realized that, yes, Ella B and Mitch were new and they're still working on their connection. Katie and Uzi had a stronger bond. That way, if they left the villa, they could still continue to work on that. But they really didn't need to stay in the villa. And that's when Ty sort of went off and said, oh, well, I think that was the wrong decision. I think the wrong people came back. And it's like, why would you say that? Katie was on her own season. She's come back as a bombshell just to be there on the show, just to bring up the ratings. And you want her to get a second chance. She's already been given a second chance. What you want her to get a third chance and deprive other people that are coming in for the first time. It's not Ella B's fault that she's coupled up with Mitch, but she deserves as much sort of time in the villa as anybody else. I didn't like Ty saying that because he knew that as soon as he opened the floodgates, everybody else would storm in, because Abby then came in and, oh, I don't understand why Mitch and Ella B are back, because Mitch said, they wouldn't work on the outside. And it's like, it's not your business. We don't need to hear your point of view at this point in time, Abby, because you and Mitch are done. Your decision had your words have nothing to do with the situation. And she's, oh, but Ty said what he wanted to say, so I feel I need to give my opinion. And it's like, nobody's asked for your opinion. Nobody's asked. There are a lot of people sitting there around the fire pit. Why do you feel the need to sort of put in your 2 pence? That didn't make sense. And Mitch got upset, and he was right to get upset. And even Ella B was upset. And one thing about Ella B is she's going to speak up for herself, which is one thing I love about her. She's not going to let people walk all over her. She's going to speak up for herself. She's going to advocate for herself and let people know and set boundaries with people. So I like the fact that she was able to sort of let it be known that she's not having that. Molly said she was, when the boys went off and the girls stayed behind, Molly said she was happy because Katie was a thorn in her side, so she's happy Katie's gone, and she thanked Whitney, and it's like, but Katie is still in the UK, so when you leave the villa, unless you're moving in with Zachariah and you're going to be following him every single day, Katie will still be out there. Zachariah has a history of cheating, so if he really wanted to cheat with Katie, he can still cheat with her once they get back to the UK. That doesn't make sense. Mitch then pulls Ty for a chat, which he was right to do, to say, I feel some type of way in the sense that you and I are mates. So why would you say you'd prefer that somebody else come back instead of me? I thought we were mates. I thought you'd fight for me. Why are you one of the people that are sort of wanting my downfall? Is more or less what he was saying. And I said, maybe I didn't say the words correctly. You said what you said the first time. You don't need to try and correct yourself. You don't need to try and PC your words because they've already come out. Don't start putting your PR voice out there and sort of try to sort of polish whatever you said. You said it. It's out there. That's it. I didn't like that. I felt that was wrong. I think if people had opinions, irregardless, they should have waited until the situation had sort of calmed down, because emotions were very heightened. People were afraid that they were going home and suddenly they were saved. And Ty, being Ella B's friend, I don't know why he felt the need to do that to her. I don't think that was fair. And I'm happy that Ella B pulled Abby and said to Abby, why would you say that? Why did you feel the need to tell me that in front of everyone that Mitch said we wouldn't work on the outside? If you wanted to tell me, why didn't you? She is right. She should have pulled her aside and said to her, this is what Mitch has been saying about you. You need to be careful whenever you're sort of exploring this connection, that Mitch might not have your best intentions at heart. And for Abby to do that doesn't make sense. I agree with Whitney. I agree that it comes across as bitter. It comes across as sour grapes, as she is, because she was excited when she saw Mitch in the bottom three, and she was actually saying karma, karma, and suddenly she's there trying to create tension. So Mitch she had a back and forth in Mitch. And Mitch was saying, I didn't say that. And then Mitch eventually stepped up to sort of support Ella B. And Scott, one thing about Scott is always going to ride hard for whoever's in a coupling with. When he was in a coupling with Catherine, he rode hard for Catherine when the villa was coming against her. And the same thing happened now, when even whether or not he thinks Abby is right or wrong, he still rode for her and still came and sat there. And Abby apologized, and he told her, he told them she's apologized. That's it. Let's move on. And because one thing I like about Scott is he didn't say, oh, this is wrong, this is right. No, he just said she apologized. That's it. Let's move on. Let's stop trying to rehash the situation. And I think he was just trying to calm it down and just end it, because he saw that this hamster wheel, nobody was going to get off until he pulled somebody off. So that was good of him. The Islanders then went up to get ready for the night. Molly obviously is still upset about Zachariah. So Scott then goes and has a conversation with Ella, Ty, Whitney, and Locken. And he says, I was about to lose my cool because I felt that the conversation was being unfair to Abby. And I have to give it to Whitney, because Whitney spoke the truth, in my opinion, in the sense that she said, well, Abby's the worst messenger to say what she said, because what she said came from a place of bitterness, because she has bad history with Mitchell and Ella B, and she made it seem like she didn't want them there and they should not be there, which was not right. And for Ella to then turn around and say, well, I have to back Abby because Abby didn't say, and it's like, you're always doing this, Ella. You're always trying to align yourself and sort of try to coddle people. She does the same thing with Jess. This is the same thing she's now doing with Abby, in that she's enabling bad habits instead of calling them out. And as soon as Whitney started speaking, you could see Scott keep quiet. And Whitney was frustrated and she told them, don't be dumb, because they're pretending to be dumb. They're all not that thick. This is why I said Jess, in my opinion, is playing dumb, and they were all playing dumb. And so eventually Whitney had to go and have a conversation with Abby. And Abby, I think, was expecting Whitney to be on the same page as Ella, in the sense that she expected Whitney to come and coddle her. But the thing is, Ella B and Ella have bad history, and Ella could be backing Abby because of her bad history with Ella B. So Whitney is going to stand in the truth and say what she feels, and she told her, your opinion was really not needed in that situation. Yes, you're saying you gave your opinion because Ty was saying his opinion, but it's not necessary given the fact that, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, she'd just been talking about karma, and the reason why Mitchell was in the bottom was because of karma, and people didn't vote for him because of karma. And then she makes the comment about Mitchell not supposed to be in the villa at that point in time because he didn't have a stronger bond. And it's like, you don't have a stronger bond with Scott. You turned Scott down. You came back to Scott because Mitchell turned you down. And now you want us to believe that you have a stronger bond. The only reason you're in the villa is because of Scott. The only reason Amber was in the villa is because of Scott. Mess around and you will find out, because the viewers are going to vote you out. They're going to be so frustrated by you. They're going to vote Scott out just because of you. And then she decided to bring on her Karen Waterworks. I didn't realize that my opinion wasn't needed. It wasn't needed. Did anyone ask you for your opinion? No, you should have set your bum somewhere and waited to be called upon. Nobody wanted to hear what you said. And it makes it seem like, though you're with Scott, you're still not over Mitchell and you want Mitchell, and this is why you can't, wait for his downfall. I don't even know why Molly was there in that conversation, though, whether she was supposed to be a moderator or whatever. She didn't say anything. She didn't do anything that we saw anyway. Personally, I don't understand who Abby's trying to convince. Whether she's trying to convince the viewers or she's trying to convince Mitch and Ella B that she's moved on, it doesn't make sense, because then she went to Jess and Ella and she started crying. I think because she knew that they were going to enable her and they were going to listen to her and cuddle her. And then after that, she goes into the dressing room and starts saying to Ella B, well, I just want you to know that I have nothing to do with Mitchell. I've moved on from Mitchell and that's it. And I think she expected them to cuddle her and to sort of say anything. And then she stormed off, and it's like, why? We don't need that drama, really. We don't. It's time to move on. Ella was saying, oh, I am tired of this. And it's like, you can just move away if you're tired of it. You don't need to. Or OGL was saying, I'm tired of it. And it's like, you can move on. You can move to a different part of the villa. You don't need to sit and listen to them sort of go on about their drama. And Whitney, I love Whitney. Whitney is crazy. Whitney will throw shade. So Whitney and Jess were chatting, and then Jess said, oh, well, the only reason you're most popular couple is because the viewers liked Lochan. And then she said, well, it's better than you who's carrying Sammy. And that's the truth. And that makes me truly believe that Jess is with Sammy just because she knows he'll keep her in the villa with his drama. If she goes for someone who's mellow, then she's going to be in the background. Whereas with Sammy, she's going to always have something to talk about or something to argue about. And she thinks that the viewers want her with Sammy, when we all know, no, that's not the case. Obviously, Zach and Molly is still very strained between the two of them. The islanders go to sleep, and in the morning there is the debrief again. I don't even know why, because they're talking about the voting the day before. Lochan is sort of talking about the stress of having to decide who goes home and who stays. Mitch is grateful that he's still in the villa, and then Abby is moaning to Molly and Ella, and it's like, we've had enough. Let's move on. This is too much. We really don't need this. And Ella is Ella B is grateful to be there, and she still feels some type of way about the fact that people were making the comments up and sort of made her feel unwelcome. And it was interesting the way the girls were split, in the sense that those that speak the truth were put with Ella B, and those that will coddle were put with Abby, because Abby sat with Molly and Ella original, and then Ella B sat with Whitney and Jess, who are going to tell her the truth as is. And so I don't know how it's playing out. Zachariah obviously is still upset about things being strained between him and Molly, and is going to give her personal space. And it's like, Zachariah, I said this before. Zachariah is only with Molly because he thinks Molly is the fan favorite, or he thought Molly was the fan favorite, and this is why she came back into the fella. I don't think he realizes that the producers were behind Molly's comeback, because the fact that he's decided to give her space and has just ignored her and just allowed her to be when she said she needed space doesn't make sense to me. If he really was that interested in her, you should have been putting a lot of pressure and should have been asking her sort of to give him a second chance and not wait there for her to sort of say when she's ready to talk to him. I didn't get that. Ty Ty is playing games. Ty's playing games. He's accusing everybody else of playing games, but he's the biggest game player in the villa because he's always starting arguments, and then he'll say a couple of lines and then sit back and watch everybody else argue, and nobody calls him out for that. And I don't get it because he's running the villa. The boys will listen to anything he says, and I think the girls are too intimidated by him to say anything. So he was talking about his connection with Ella and how happy he is, and how he feels about her. It's just like, okay. I don't even know why we wasted a third of the episode on Molly and Zach, because it seemed Zach was speaking to everybody else except Molly about how strange his relationship with Molly was, and it seemed Molly had told Zachariah that she didn't want anything to do with him and she wanted personal space. She needed time to reflect. And yet she's now complaining that why is he giving her time? She doesn't want time. And it's like, make it make sense. Molly does not have the willpower to deal with someone like Zachariah. And this is what Whitney was saying, that you want a girl that's mellow and that will go along with anything you want. And this is why he's after Molly. Because if it was someone else like Whitney, they would have pulled him. Even Ella B, they would have pulled him and sort of told him, what it is, and they would have ironed out whatever the issues they have. Instead of them running around circles around each other and not doing anything or saying anything, and all we have to do is listen to them moan and groan about, oh, we want to work on our relationship. Doesn't make sense. In the evening, the islanders got ready, and then Ty let his friend Scott and Zachariah know that he wants to tell Ella that he loves her. He's going to do the setup by the ark and stuff, and it's like, it's a bit too convenient. The couple, I don't think it's even a day or two after the most popular Islander vote. But hey, it is what it is. He could be genuine. He sits down with Ella. He did seem nervous. He has some sort of feelings. And the problem is, you don't know whether, does he love her as a person or is he in love with her? Which is it? I don't think he understands that bit. I hope whatever feelings and emotions he's feeling at the moment, they're able to sort of carry on once they leave the villa. It was a cute scene. The producers did a great job, because there's no way they would have been allowed to leave the villa and sort of sit out there and have that conversation. So it was nice to see. How long that lasts, you and me will have to wait and see before they explode again. But anyway, it was a great episode. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Bye everyone.